Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Helios, and today we're going to be reading Until a Parent Wants Me to Roar for His Son. And guess what he asked for. So this didn't happen to the poster a few years ago in the first time posting. So EK is entitled Kid, EP is entitled Parent, and S is the friend that had to deal with both of them. So, my friend S is a sweet, charming dad of triplets. He's a recent dad and got thrown into the deep end, but is handling well. The history of S is that he used to be a mean, nasty ogre of a man, and would literally roar at people who trespassed onto his property. Fortunately, S met his incredible wife in a real fairy tale of a story, and though her many lovely friends he had picked up along the way, S has really changed from that nasty character into a sweet, lovable person. Anyway, to the story. So S is at his triplet's first birthday party, which is proving to be a fun but stressful time for him. Managing 3 crying 1-year-olds and the host of odd friends and local villagers is difficult than it sounds. Anyway, S is being persistently harassed by his best friend D, who means well but unfortunately talks loads. During the stressful time, Entitled Kid and Entitled Parent come up to S. Entitled Kid looks like the quintessential image of a spoilt kid and is licking a lollipop the size of his head. EK demands S roars like S's premarital days. S, already having a tough time, politely refuses and informs EK and EP that his roaring days are behind him. Unfortunately, things don't get better for S. The cake that's been baked for the triplets is being licked by one of S's friends, what S is trying to work on how to fix it up. Up comes EK and EP. EK demands that his daddy gets S to roar, and EP asks S again, to which S more sternly replies that he does not roar. All S's kids are crying, and the stress level will increase, which is also trying to deal with the party that's falling apart. EP walks up to S and demands that S roars that he promised to EK. S begrudgingly agrees and does a fake roar, but in order to end the situation, but EK is not satisfied and asks for another roar. Finally, after the party has completely stressed S out, who's normally an introvert and used to keeping to himself, EK once again demands for S to roar, to which S finally lets out the loudest roar of his life. EP and all the guests look terrified of S screaming like he's turning into his ogre days. And EP looks as if he's going to pee his pants. All worth it. Yeah, you asked for him to roar. This is very much Mill's compliance too. If I want to starve my daughter, I can. EP has 2 daughters, one who's extremely spoiled, and YC, and one, the elder, who's treated horribly, OC. This kinda has 2 parts, so yeah. So, some backstory. The younger spoiled child and I used to be friends, but we started to drift apart. I'm gonna call her Abby. Always wanted me to get on the bus with her, which I was okay with, even though it meant I had to wait at the bus stop for 20 minutes for no reason. She wanted to leave her house late, but I had to get the bus to the bus stop, which only came once every 40 minutes or so. So when it came winter, I told her I wasn't gonna wait anymore because it was freezing, and she said okay. A couple days later, EP turns up at our house with YM, saying, let's talk about OP, the author. My mom was a bit confused, but her and EP were friends at the time, so she said, okay, come in. EP basically started having a go at me, saying how I was selfish and I needed to be nice to her daughter. She said I made her daughter have a panic attack because I texted her daughter, have you left yet? Too early. Because I was diagnosed, by the way, I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and Abby does not have anxiety, so her use of panic attack kind of pissed me off. But whatever. Um, the parent pressured me to say yes, so I continued to wait for a while, but then I stopped because it was literally the height of winter. After this, parent invited me and my dad to her house saying, "We need to discuss the problems your daughter is causing. Let's have the dads come because it will be calmer." My mum agreed. I turned up. When I turned up, the mum was there with the dad, who agreed even though we just agreed on just dads. EP was shaking anger when she saw me and immediately started having a go at me. My dad had to tell her to calm down and we ended up leaving her house. But to cut long story short, EP contacted me on the way to school and tried to get me in trouble for bullying her daughter. Yeah, anyway, the school's missed it. Now, about 2 years later, what's Abby's sister's name gonna be? Jess. Jess is friends with my older sister, even though our families are like enemies. Jess is actually super nice to me and always talks about moving out of the house when she gets 18 because they're toxic people. And I've raised Abby to be very toxic too. Jess gets screamed at all the time while Abby is little angel of the home. We've seen it happen ourselves when we used to be friends with them. Jess gets the blame for everything. Jess tells my mum Day that when she's round that she hasn't eaten for 3 days because her mum banned her from she banned her daughter from food. Oh god, no. My mum was super shocked, obviously, and asked why. She said it was because she didn't want to get tutoring help in math. She had done this before, too. When Jess went vegetarian, her mum didn't let her eat anything and only brought her chicken and steak every day until she was literally starving and was forced to eat it. What the flip? My mum, obviously being a normal human being, brought Jess some food like sandwiches and drinks, crisps and stuff. A couple of days later, I'm ill at home, so I'm ill, so I'm at home, but my mum comes back from dropping my older sister at the bus stop. It's like 7 a.m., and I wake up to shouting. I run outside to see EP screaming at my overwhelmed mum, "Why did you feed my daughter? That's my daughter, my house rules. I effing hate you, F off." She put her hand in my mum's face while screaming, and my mum kind of ran inside, saying she would call the police if she didn't leave. Until a parent stood for like 5 minutes, screamed at the door, and then left. Turns out, EP had looted through Jess's trash and found the empty food wrappers and demanded where it had come from. She immediately followed my mum back to the house and started screaming at her. We'd have to press charges, but my mum was really busy and I was ill and we didn't have time. So yeah, that's my story of how something toxic until parents have created a toxic child and have been incredibly abusive to their oldest. We had reported until parent to child services, but Jess asked us not to. Some more things the parent has done to Jess: refuse to drop Jess at the bus stops so Jess can get the bus to school because Abby doesn't want you to make her late. Taken Jess's phone, books, papers, pens, etc. from her room and her mattress and locked the room when... Oh my god, this is child abuse. You cannot deny a child food, you cannot deny them a bed. You're denying them basic supplies. Oh my god, that is... Yeah, I agree with Fred Locke. I don't care if your child asks to not call social services. By God, do it! Oh my... This is child abuse. Okay. Oh, see, Jess, I don't know. Oh my god, get out of that house! Oh my, this is... Zeldarina? What the what? What? Okay, I'm going to leave it there because